Today, we're learning how to make... And for those of you who want the project file, it will be available for purchase via the link below on my fourth wall page. So right off the bat, taking a look at our reference, we know we're going to need to do a little bit of a bend here on our text. We're going to need a very specific font. We've got a couple pieces of text fading in here, and then we're going to create this blue background and have the entire thing kind of zoom in as well. Let's get started. And obviously you already know we're starting off with our background node. We're going to bring that into our viewer. And all we did was grab our screen color from off of our reference. All we had to do was pick an area that was relatively clean, relatively consistent, and bam, we ended up with our screen color. Then we had to create the texture for our background, and we can see we've got this kind of brick wallish, smudged texture, imperfect on purpose to give it a little bit more character. And to make something this specific in Resolve would be a little bit difficult. So what we ended up doing was grabbing ourselves just like a kind of tarnished metal concrete background, and we're going to be combining this with our blue background in order to create the texture that we see in our reference. First, we took a fast noise node, which we've got over here. We brought our detail up and our contrast down. Then we brought our X scale down and our Y scale up, which you can do by unchecking this box, which is lock X and Y. And then we played around with our seethe rate a little bit until we got a design we wanted. And you can see we've got this kind of white right here. We also went into our color. We changed the type from to color to gradient, and we adjusted the black part of our gradient. You can see we're influencing the amount of white that shows up. And then we also pulled the alpha down on our gradient. Otherwise, you're going to end up with something like this. So once we've got all of this sorted out, we plug our fast nose into our media into, and we end up with something like this. And you can see very, very faintly, we've got this kind of subtle metal kind of grunge texture, which when we plug that into a transform and adjust our X and Y size, and then we merge over our background, gives us this kind of smudged brick wall look. Now, something else you're going to notice is that our canvas size is not the normal 1920 by 1080 that we have in our reference, and neither is the size of our fast noise. And this is because we're zooming in the entire canvas here. And so we want to give ourselves a little bit of extra space to play with, because we're going to start zoomed out and then zoom in. So now that we've got part of our texture laid out, it's time to take two more fast noise nodes. We're going to do the exact same thing with another piece of media, which we have right here. And this time, I'm going to create this kind of mask right here using our fast noise. And the way we do this is bringing our detail up, our contrast down again. We're going to leave our brightness alone. We're unlocking our XY scale again, and we're bringing our X scale way, way up to 170. We're bringing our Y scale up to 20 as well. Then we're going to change the angle to get this kind of texture, almost like rain coming down. Then after adjusting the seethe to get a pattern that we like, we're also going to adjust our color from to color to gradient. We're going to leave our type at uni, and then we're doing the exact same thing, bringing the black up and then pulling our alpha down. Otherwise we end up with something like this, which we don't want. Then we're going to merge our entire texture over our background, and we're going to change the apply mode on our merge node to multiply. Now make sure as well that you change your canvas type. You can change your canvas type in the image tab of pretty much any node. All you have to do is uncheck auto resolution and change your width and height accordingly. So now that we've got our first texture, we're going to make sure that we only have this texture show up in certain areas. And the way we're going to do that is with another fast noise. So we're creating a mask for our mask, essentially. We're going to bring our detail up to 10. We're going to bring our contrast up, and then we're actually bringing our X and Y scale down a little bit. Then we adjusted our angle and seethe until we were happy with what we got. Again, we're going to adjust our color to be the same as all the others we've done so far. Then we're going to connect our first fast noise here onto our second. That will give us something like this, where we end up having our texture, but only in certain places. Then we're going to plug that into our media texture, and we end up with something like this, which is very, very subtle. You probably won't even be able to see it until we plug it into another transform, where we're going to bring up our X and Y size, and then We're going to merge this on top of our first background, making sure to change our apply mode to multiply. And now you can begin to see it just a little bit. So there's our before, there's our after. We're just adding on a tiny little bit of extra smudging, a little bit of extra texture, because a lot of the time it's the small details that help to really sell an effect. Moving on, now we need to figure out how to add our text in here properly. And of course, it's going to say DaVinci because you know it's gotta. And the font we're using for our DaVinci text is Woodblock CG. I'll link the font for you guys down below so you can download it for yourself. But we also need to make sure it has this bend right here in the bottom, kind of like how we did in the retro Netflix effect, which you can find on the channel. Now, if I plug our reference into a merge here, and we just take a look at this together, we can see that the bend follows this line right here. And we made this line very, very simply with a B-spline node, which is just a mask, but instead we made a line, then we connected it to a background node to create a black line. So for anyone who wants to follow along, you want to do anything similar, that's how we did it. So when we throw this line onto our text, we can see it does not follow this rule at all. And the way that we can distort our text bottom a little bit and make it actually work how we want it to is by adding in a displace node. Now, the way this is going to work is we're going to plug our text into our displace node. We're going to change our type from radial to XY. Then the only thing we're going to adjust is our Y refraction, and we're going to bring that all the way down. And you'll notice nothing has happened yet. That's because we haven't actually given the displace any information to warp our text with. And the information we're going to give it is a simple ellipse node. Now, after bringing our ellipse node in, we brought it down a little bit, we adjusted the height and the width, and then we brought our soft edge up almost all the way. Then, once we plug it into the foreground of our displace node, which is the green input, we plug our displace node into our viewer, and we can see we've got this nice bend in our DaVinci text. So let's merge this back on top of our background, and it's already looking pretty good. Now, to help make our text look just a little bit more like the original reference, we're going to select our text node and go into the transform tab, where we're going to go down to the X rotation, and we're going to bring our angle up just a little bit so we have our text leaning inward towards the top of our frame here, just like our letters do in our reference. And just like that, we've got our DaVinci text. And without further ado, let's move on into the final stages of creating our really cool effect here. So the last two things that we need are our bottom text right here, which kind of fade in after the initial zoom or during the initial zoom. And all we're using for this is two different text nodes with the size adjusted ever so slightly on our lower one. We're going to use the font Open Sans Semi-Bold, which you should have on your computer. And we're going to merge our two text nodes on top of everything else. Easy peasy, just like that. And then for the actual fading in of our text, all we did was go to the blend mode of our merge nodes here. We went to where our text was completely invisible on our reference. We added a keyframe on the blend and brought it down to 0. Then we just came up to when our text was fully visible and then added another keyframe. With our second keyframe, we bring our blend up to 1. Make sure that we have the exact same keyframes for both of our pieces of text. And just like that, we're almost done. Next, we're going to plug everything into a transform node, and we're going to add a keyframe at frame 0 for our size. Then we're slowly going to zoom everything up. Then we're going to move close to the end of our composition, and we're going to add another keyframe so that our text can mimic that same zoom in effect as it does in our reference. Then finally, to bring everything back down to the normal canvas size, which is 1920 by 1080, we're going to merge everything on top of a basic 1920 by 1080 background node. We made sure to change our color to black and bring our alpha all the way down so it would be transparent. And then we just merge everything right on top. And just like that, we've created the right here in DaVinci Resolve. Thank you everyone so much for watching. If you love what I do and you want to support the channel, definitely hit the like button, hit subscribe, comment, let me know what you want to see for the next video. I've got a whole bunch of text animation stuff in the works, so look forward to that. If you want the project files, they are available on the fourth wall page. I've got a ton of really cool stuff there, both free and paid, all of it designed to save you a ton of time. Anyways, that's all for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.